Now, I just want to discuss something that I found really disturbing of this TMC leaders being paraded, often in their undergarments. Uh, while in law, you cannot handcuff or tie anyone unless that person is a threat. That is the law. Even when they're taken to court, a person cannot be handcuffed. I don't know if you knew this. While in America, even a Kenneth Lay was taken in handcuffs.
Yeah.
So this is an outlier. It is and eggs are being thrown at them, clearly engineered.
This one incident is of a strongman related to TMC whose
Hmm.
head was shaved and he was paraded across.
But even there have been 4
Akash
paradings.
Singh.
Yeah.
Their former MP, I forget his name, who had eggs thrown at him.
Yeah. I don't recall.
And this is being either glossed over by some media and actually being applauded. So I just want to start on the panel on a larger context of where do you think this goes? What is the spiral this follows? Like, are we to assume that if there is inevitably there will be a change in government, then the members of parliament, ministers in this cabinet should be paraded and eggs thrown at them? Is this typically a reflection of the mindset, which I believe is the mindset of the ruling establishment? No matter how many 14 lakh suits Mr. Modi may wear, he still has the mindset of the Bajrang Dal types. कि इसको पीटो, उसको थप्पड़ मारो, उस पे अंडा फेंको. And if that is what we are applauding, where do you think this goes? And if this were to happen tomorrow and we reverse it, what would your stand be, Jesh?
This is not because this is not a reflection of the governing party at all. I think this is a reflection of Indian society. Look, like you said, in the West, there are these perp walks, there are frog marches, you parade them handcuffed, whatever. They might be suspects, they might be convicts, whatever it is. But in India, I mean, it is there in Rajasthan. I remember a few years ago, there were a parade of incidents where people who were accused of various crimes, their heads were shaved, they were dressed in women's clothing, they were forced to wear salwar kameezes or nighties, they put signs around their necks and forced them to fold their hands and apologize and chant apologies. And I mean, this is like ritualistic humiliation. There was another horrible thing where I think there were two men who were accused of murder and they were injured while being captured, and we can only assume that they were therefore beaten up by the cops before they were captured, so their legs were broken, but they were still forced to drag themselves on the ground with their legs in cast as part of this, humiliation apology tour that you're expected to go on. So I just think this is a reflection of the fact that this is a medieval country with social practices that are more suited to like 200 years ago. It's a lot of it is excused, a lot of it is encouraged, both legally and outside the ambit of law, because I feel like this is fundamentally how society thinks. It's the same sort of instinct that makes people want to castrate convicts. You want to hang convicts. It's like you're stuck in this sort of medieval feudal mindset where people want this sort of crude, immediate satisfaction.
Finally, the book club is happening. It is now live. Is there going to be a QR code or a link? I'm sure there will. You can scan the QR code or click on the link. The book club will be for subscribers, but it will be a higher tiered subscription. The first book we will be dissecting is A Suitable Boy with fellow book lovers. To join the discussion, simply register through the link in the show notes. Once you've signed up, all the details will be delivered straight to your inbox. Come, read, reflect, exchange ideas with your tribe. It's going to happen Sunday, July the 5th. I repeat, Sunday, July the 5th at 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time at Depot 48, New Delhi. Let's discuss books, have a snack, have a drink. And we can't wait to see you there. You can also join us online if you're not in Delhi and discuss A Suitable Boy.
I mean, I can't foresee in future this government being treated like this, because I think it also takes a long time for you to be in that position of power to then this be acceptable. I think Jayashree hit the nail on the head. We are a shame-based society, and a lot of Asian societies are like that, where the biggest your relevance comes from your social connections. Whose daughter are you? Whose whatever are you? And so the biggest punishment we can give to anyone is shame and humiliation. And we've internalized this, that's what gets people to understand and fall in line. It starts right from school. I think we are the only country, or whatever, South Asian societies, even Asian society, I say, like this murga bana.
Yeah.
Like, why do teachers do this? कि आपने कुछ करा नहीं तो बाहर, like मुर्गा कौन बनाता है? It's a uniquely Indian thing. The thing is that you will learn if you put you outside, we make you do some weird, like whatever acrobats with your.
Contortions.
It starts at school, and I think this is what the police. It's an extension of that sort of a mindset which we do with criminals or accused or convicts, where you have to humiliate them into.
The BJP in Bengal says this is a reflection of Ram Rajya. You see, this is what I'm saying. It is not an outlier. It is consistent with a very ancient and almost fossilized view of what the world should be. And it starts from the top. It is not that Modi ji is some forward-looking people and the rest are like this. It's consistent with everything else. But yeah, the legal aspect, where will it go from here? And why do you think it is that this gets a free pass in our country?
Now, legal aspect, if you go to section 49 of BNSS, that is Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, which was earlier CRPC. So, handcuffing is not the rule, it is the exception. So, normally people should not be handcuffed, and it gives a theory of necessity that people should be handcuffed only when there is a clear evidence or clear apprehension of them escaping, or they are extremely violent and there is evidence for
Threat
it.
to others or themselves.
So the only two conditions are there, unless if you are have no objection to it, like George Fernandez didn't wanted handcuffed for optics. So also there are a lot of Supreme Court cases where they have given post-arrest protocol, what should be the guidelines. Like Prem Shankar Shukla versus Delhi administration, Sunil Batra versus Delhi administration, and the most important case is DK Basu versus the state of West Bengal. So there also the theory of necessity has been upheld, that handcuffing should not be there. So that is it. Second point, why it is as a retributive society. So suppose in villages, say child rapist is caught. So there are 3 cops there, 2 constables, as 1 assistant sub-inspector. So the villagers will encourage the cops for similar parading. Let us parade. The responsibility of the cop is not to do that. He has to not get swayed by the public sentiment.
Although in Kashmir, the reverse happened, right? The guy was garlanded.
Kathua rape case.
Yeah, so
one of the accused, I think.
though the responsibility of the cops is that, and a lot of say it is not that cops are not trained for it. Even many IPS officers head the human rights branch. They teach them what to do, what's the protocol, what's the date. And I would not say that it is very normalization of it, because in some sense it is still an aberration, but it is a fairly you can say aberrations which are now very regular. So
you think there's a danger of this being repeated, and how would society react to that?
In West Bengal, where say vengeance is seen as a political asset, a kind of political culture, so the poll violence didn't happen. And I had written that as a national party, BJP has to see, because CPIM was almost its Bengal version was almost a localized party,
one state party,
and TMC. So BJP has an opportunity to introduce a different kind of political culture, where post-poll violence does not have a very regional repercussion of those cultural underpinnings of vengeance, retribution, all that. But that has clearly not happened. It has the post-poll violence is not of the same scale, but it has come through the back door.
बस मुफ्त में इतना ही मिलेगा.
For the full uncut podcast, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. The best way to listen to the Hafta and indeed all our podcasts is through the News Laundry app. You can download the app by clicking on the links given in the show notes. So do download our app and get the best podcast experience. And also pay for news and support a new news media ecosystem that News Laundry is trying to encourage, where we are accountable to you because we run on contributions that you make. We don't take government ads, we don't take corporations ads, so that news serves the public, because when the public pays, the public is served. Subscribe to News Laundry, click on the link in the show notes below and proudly say, I pay to keep news free.